For scheduling, we introduce the basic AMC principle. But for the scheduling, we know for the AMC is the adaptive modulation. That is, we can the CQI, okay, according to the channel quality, to adjust the modulation and the coding rate, right? To adjust the bit rate. But how to get the CQI? That is, for the CQI, we know we get it by the reference signal. From the reference signal, the input B side of the UE side, they can estimate the channel quality, right? But we have three kinds. You know our resource has three dimensions. Our resource has the time resource, frequency resource, and the space resource. So for the channel quality, if I base the time domain, don't consider the frequency. Maybe the frequency is you allocate 5 RB, but I don't consider every RB. I just think it's a total. I only consider the time. Okay, at every TTI, if the signal changes, if the CQI changes, I will according to the time sequence to adjust the AMC. So this is based the time. So this is the time AMC. We name it time domain. So the same theory. What is frequency domain and the space domain? That is the CQI is a signal. Signal is related to the CQI, right? So if the CQI you calculate it, you estimate it based on TTI. This is time. Okay, we name it the time domain AMC. This is also we adjust the time. We according to the time to adjust the AMC. So for frequency is that I don't consider every TTI. I just consider my subcarriers to adjust the modulation and the coding rate. The signal is related to the subband. Subband is the subcarrier, right? So I will according to every subcarrier, different subcarrier, I will allocate one different AMC. For subcarrier 1, yeah, for this subband, okay, is domain, is CQI signal is like this, okay, I will give it a special modulation and coding rate. And the subcarrier 2 is a different signal, okay, I will give it a different. So you can think it's very complex, right? If you want to realize this method, it's very complex. So if we use time domain, it's easier, and we also can adjust it properly. And for space domain is that used for MIMO. You know, for our MIMO, we use 2 times 2 MIMO. We have the same time, same frequency, but the space are different. So for different space, you will have a different signal, right? For different space, you may have a different channel quality. Okay, I don't consider the time and the frequency. For different space, maybe you will use a different modulation and coding rate. So this is time domain AMC, frequency domain AMC, and the space domain AMC. That is based the CQI you adjust based on which domain. If you based on time, that is time domain. If you based on frequency, it's frequency domain. You based on space, that is space domain. Yeah, it's very, very simple. It's very, very simple. So here when we calculate the CQI, yeah, the input B will select 1. Yes. So use time domain or frequency domain or space domain. This is the input B realized. So for different manufacturers, they may use a different method. But they will get the CQI and it will adjust the AMC. The basic procedure, they will be same. Yeah. So this is the AMC principle. And For the mark layer is a very, very important function is the hack procedure. For the hack is to detect the error, right? It not only detects the error, and it also can correct the error. So for the hack is that it contains two parts. It contains two parts. One is to correct the error. One is to feedback the answer. Yeah, whether I receive it correctly or not. So if I can correct the error first, okay, I will correct it by myself, and I will give a feedback. Okay, you don't need to retransmit it. But maybe the error exceeds my ability. I cannot correct it. So at this condition, I need feedback no. So you need to retransmit it. So this is for the hack. So one is the FEC. The FEC is the forward error correct. That is in the front side. Yeah. So when we transmit for this is the LE, this is in node B. Yeah. For example, in node B transmit a data to the UE. For example, we transmit is like this. Okay. So when we transmit data, the channel quality may be bad. So it may be generate some error. For example, is I received it. Yeah, here, one bit is error. Okay, the UE side, if we use FEC, it will according to the coding. We will have a coding principle. It will according to the coding principle to get the right one. But if it is, for example, I received like this. Yeah, a continuous error, error. So even the bit itself and the coding bit are the wrong bits. So I cannot correct it by myself. So I will delete this. And I will not give it a feedback. So just for FEC, I will, according to the coding principle, to correct the error bit. If I can correct it in my ability, okay, I will get the right one, and I will receive next, like this. But if this error is very large, I cannot decode it. But I will don't give it feedback. Okay, just delete it. So for this kind of, you can enhance the rate efficiency, right? I don't give it a feedback. So the efficiency, we can get a higher efficiency, but we cannot guarantee the reliable. Right? So this is the FEC. So for the ARQ, it is the ARC. It's acknowledgement request. So for the ARC is that if we only consider ARC, this is the first data I received. Here is only one bit error. If I use the FEC, I can correct it by myself. But if we use ARC, there is no error correct ability. So I must give it a feedback. Okay, I don't receive it correctly. you need to retransmit it. So it will retransmit it again. So no matter how small this error, I will feedback and knock, and you could retransmit it. So for this kind, it can enhance the reliable, but the efficiency is very, very low, right? So for in the LTE, we can hybrid the FEC and the ARC. So the FEC and the ARC is the hack. It's a hack. So the first H is the hybrid. So if we use a hack, it's like this, okay? I transmit this bit stream, okay? I receive it. There is a small error. I receive it. I can correct it by myself. I get the right one, okay? I feedback a knock. So you know, I can correct it. So I receive it correctly. So you send a new data 2. Okay, when I received the data 2, there is a big error. I cannot correct it. So I will feedback a knock. Okay, you retransmit. So if we use the hybrid hack, we can guarantee the reliable and also we can guarantee the efficiency. This is why we use a hack. So for the hack, because we have two kinds of technology, one is TDD, one is FDD. So for the hack, that means one channel transmit data. For the other end, it need to give it a feedback. So we need a channel to feedback it, right? So for the uplink, who feedback it? Yesterday we introduced the channels outside. One channel will transmit the feedback. Do you remember which one? For the uplink, which one to feedback? Right? QCCH, the control information, right? The control information. But in LTE, we also defined if we have the PUSCH resource, I can also use the PUSCH to transmit the control information. Yeah. So if the UE have the PUSCH resource, that means I'm transmitting data. I also can transmit the ARC inside it. So it's two channels. So if in the uplink, if the UE transmit data to the inode B, so each channel to give it a feedback. Any other answer? Both you are right. Both of you are right. Both of you are right. Why I say this? I will show you later the different hack process. So usually we will use PHSCH. Usually we will use PHSCH to give it a feedback, because for this channel, is the hack indicator, right? So it's true. This is the hack indicator. So its function is to feedback the ARC or not. But for our hack process, we have several different kinds. One is the synchronous and asynchronous. These two. For the synchronous, this is for time, yes? When we talk about the time domain, we will talk about whether it's synchronized or not. So the synchronous and the asynchronous hack is talk about the time. So what is the time? Is that if I need to retransmit we need set a time delay. We need to set a time delay. For example, when I transmit a data, I will give it feedback. So, for example, I give it a knock, so I need to retransmit. But when I will retransmit, if this time is fixed, we said it's synchronous because the time is fixed. But maybe we don't fix this time. If the time is not fixed, we name it the asynchronous. This is for the time domain when to retransmit it. We have different. For the downlink, we use asynchronous. Asynchronous, both two you can select. But for uplink, we said we use the synchronous because for the synchronous is simple. For the UE, it can process it easier. We want to simple the UE side. So for the uplink, we use synchronous. For the downlink, both two are okay. So you can select everyone is okay. This is for the time domain. So we also have the frequency domain. Yes? Frequency is a domain as that. If I retransmit, I should know at what time I need to transmit. And I also should know I use which frequency. Right? So this is frequency domain. So if I receive a knock, I retransmit the data again. So if the retransmit data use the same frequency, use the same MCS, all of the parameters are same, we said it's a non-adaptive. It will not adapt to the channel quality to just the MCS, to just the frequency domain. So this is non-adaptive. Another is adaptive. Adaptive is that because the first time I transmit the data, you received it failure. That means maybe the channel quality is not very good. I should slow down the rate, the bit rate, right? So how to slow down the bit rate? You can change the MCS level, right? So this is the frequency domain. If I change the MCS, the TB size will be changed. So the resource I need is changed. So maybe the RB location and the MCS, all of them are changed. So if it changed, we need to use PDCCH to notify it, right? Every time the UE transmit data or receive data, it should first monitor the PDCH to get the exact location. So if at this condition, it can adapt. So we name it the adaptive hack. If it's an adaptive hack, that means the retransmission data may be changed, the location, the resource, and the MCS. So I need to use PDCCH to notify it. So if we use adaptive hack, we will use PDCCH to indicate it's an NAC or ARC. So in PDCCH, it have a NDI indicator, the new data indication. So the UE will first detect PDCCH to read the NDI. If the NDI is the same with last time, we think, okay, it's a new data. So the PDCCH, it contains the scheduling information is for the new data. So if this value is reversed, for example, last time is 0, next time is reversed, okay, I need to retransmit. This is for the retransmit data, the scheduled information. So at that condition, if we use adaptive hack, we will use PDCSH to indicate. Now, we don't consider the PHSH. But if we use the non-adaptive, okay, we only need to read the PHSH. So that is why I said both of you are right, because we have different kinds of hack. So in the downlink, we use the adaptive hack. For the downlink, we use adaptive. For the uplink, that is use PHSH or PDCSH, you can set adaptive or non-adaptive. Because for the UE side, it didn't know is adaptive or non-adaptive. So it will first to detect the PHSH, and then it will detect the PDCSH. If there is no PDCSH information, that means it's non-adaptive, right? No, if there is no PDCSH, the UE will always monitor the PDCSH. If there is no PDCSH, that means I need to read PHSH. If I can monitor the PDCSH, that means, okay, I don't need read the PHSH. So it's based on the adaptive or non-adaptive. So the UE doesn't know. So he will first try to monitor the PDCSH. Okay, I cannot. I just read the PHSH. Okay. So this is for the hack process. Any problem about the synchronous and adaptive? Any problem?
No.
Just one for frequency, one for time domain. Yeah. So it's easier. And when we retransmit the hack,
can you regarding the function of adaptive one and non-adaptive, and when UE when to use this adaptive and when UE will use this non-adaptive?
For the adaptive and non-adaptive, it's not decided by the UE. It's decided by the inode B side. If the inode B think, okay, you should change the MCS. Okay, I will send it. Then maybe the inode B think, okay, you don't need to change it. So I don't allocate the new scheduling information for you. Okay, you use non-adaptive. So it's based on the inode B strategy. The inode B strategy, not based on the UE side. UE cannot decide it. So it's decided by the inode B, so the UE doesn't know, right? Doesn't know you use the adaptive or non-adaptive. So how to perform? Just aside. The UE will always monitor the PDCSH. If there is one PDCSH for me, I will read the PDCSH. Okay, now the PDCSH is useful. I don't need to read the PHSH. I just use the PDCSH NDI, right? So if I cannot monitor a PDCSH, there is no PDCSH information for me. Okay, at the time, I just need to read the PHSH. The PHSH is useful. Yeah.
Okay, so the adaptive, non-adaptive, this is the trigger knowing by we, but you do know.
Yeah.
But how it would be when to keep the best, will we use adaptive or non-adaptive? But sometimes UE this always they try that in uplink, but the LQ is bad. So we want to know. Okay. This is best for innovate must be used as adaptive, or this area where the best use non-adaptive, and when it will be no.
This is realized by the manufacturer. The protocol doesn't define it when you should use adaptive and non-adaptive. So for different manufacturers, maybe they will design a different algorithm. So they will have exact algorithm, because we also will put in node bit side when the UE transmit the data, right? But when the UE transmit the data, the node bit is calculated. So how many error bits? Right? So maybe the error bits is very smaller, maybe just 1 bit or 2 bits. So you don't need to change your modulation. Right? But maybe the input bit side, when I decode the bit stream, okay, many continuous bits are wrong. That means I don't set a proper access for you, so I need to change it. Because this is input bit receive it. So the input bit, they will have a threshold. I will know at which condition you need to change the access, at which condition you don't need. Yeah? But the threshold, is for different manufacturers. They can set a different algorithm to calculate it. Right?
And how many this maximum the hub will be this in this to normal by this in system?
You said how many hub process or how many times I can do transmit?
Yes, because in the system there is threshold for this hub. 10%, 20%, this is okay, this is threshold, this maximum, you can this normal by this B. But if very high, the higher half, this is bad for our system. So my question is, how many maximum threshold hubs can be tolerated by this system, by B?
How many hub times for the
higher rate transmission is to really higher rate
how long I will waiting it? Yeah, have a hard disk timer because we need to wait it, but I cannot always wait it. Right? I cannot wait it forever. If you cannot get the new data, I will always save it, always waiting for you. I cannot. So we will set a disk timer. Yeah, we have a disk timer. This is one parameter to decide when to how long to wait the time. And the for hard, we also have the RTT timer. That is how many hacks at the same time. How many hacks at the same time we can transmit. And also have the response. That's the last one. But it's not a parameter. It's not a parameter. For the RTT timer, that timer, like this system. And more for the hard parameter, I can later I can find it and discuss with you. So this is the different hack procedure. So for TDD and FDD, because we have a different time frame structure. So for the time synchronization, it will be different. Okay. For the FDD, let's talk about the FDD. For the FDD, we know. For the FDD, we know. So the same time we can use it for the downlink and uplink, right? So if I use the zero, some zero to transmit the data, okay, when to feedback the arc or not, because the UE received it in the zero, but for decoding we need time, right? For process it we need time. But when we need feedback the arc or not, it will need time. So we give it enough time for different UE. Maybe they have a different process ability. So we guarantee all of the UE can process it. We define the time is 4. That means if I add the frequency, I add the subframe K0 to transmit the data, then the arc or NAC is feedback in the K0 at K to feedback. So it will delete 4 subframes. So if I transmit in 0, so which subframe I need feedback? 0 at 4, right? I need at 4 to feedback. Okay, here for example, this is the data 1, the first data I transmit. So the uplink will give it a feedback at the subframe 4. So this is the, which one? This is for the arc or not, right? For example, this is arc. For example, this is arc. So for the inode B at the subframe 4 to receive the arc, also the inode B needs to decode it. It will have a time delay, right? So we also give it a fixed time like this, when it will transmit the next data. So at 4 is 8. 4 is 8. So at 8, I transmit the data 2. So if we use like this, we transmit like this, 0 to transmit the first data, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's waste, right? I cannot transmit the data. I need wait for the feedback and transmit the next data. So in order to enhance the resource efficiency, okay, also when I'm waiting for the first data feedback, I also can transmit the other new data in this subframe. So how to? So every subframe the data transmitted will have a fixed time delay. So in order to mark it, we name when we the data we will start a hack process, right? We give it a hack process number. So this is the hack process 1, hack process 2. So at the same time, we totally have 8 hack process, right? So if we use the synchronous, so next time I transmit which one? It's fixed, right? It's fixed. So you don't need add the hack process number because it's fixed. If I received this one, I will know it's hack process 3. If I receive this one, I will know it's the hack process 8. The UE can calculate it easier, right? So I don't need add the hack process. But for the asynchronous, that For synchronous is that the first data transmitted, I give it a feedback, and the new data is transmitted in the 8. But for non-synchronous, asynchronous is that if I feedback, if I first asynchronous, I will add or not the data transmitted by the 8. So if the asynchronous is that if I feedback or not, if I feedback a knock now, I can use all the subframes near than 8. So I can use 8 to retransmit, or also can use none or next 0. So if I use the asynchronous, you could not calculate. This subframe is a half process 1 or 2, right? Because you not follow the time delay, you not follow the fixed time delay. So this condition is the asynchronous. So at this condition, you need to take the hack number, the hack process number, to indicate the UE. Okay, which process you transmit, So this is this. So if we don't consider the asynchronous, we just consider the fixed time. That means from the first data I transmit to the next data I transmit, it totally can transmit 8 process, right? So I can transmit 8 hack process. So this 8 hack process, we name it the hack RTT, the runtime timer. That means, okay, this is a run. From the first to the next, this is a run. So this timer is 8 milliseconds. So the inode B can process at the same time. So for the uplink, it's also same, right? The inode B and the UE side, they both use the same sum frame, so it's okay. It's same, right? But for TDD, now we change it to the TDD. For TDD LTE, it's not similar with FDD because the subframe is downlink or uplink may be different, right? You cannot at the same time transmit uplink or downlink. For example, we use the 3.1 configuration. So this is the subframe configuration. So at this time, if I transmit in the subframe 0, okay, if we also use this K, the time K is 4. So which one we need, which subframe we need feedback? Is 4, right? But 4 is a downlink. We cannot use it. For the downlink data, I need to use an uplink subframe to feedback, right? So if I use the K is 4, we cannot get an uplink. So at this time, for the TDD, we don't define an exact K. we just define the k should greater than 3. Greater than 3. Yeah, so this delay, so I cannot use 4, but I need to find the nearest uplink. So the next is it should be greater than 3 and the nearest one. So it should be 7. 6 is special. 6 is special. For in the special, we have the downlink PTS, uplink PTS, and the get period. For the downlink, we can transmit. For the downlink, we can transmit the PHSH. We can transmit the data. We can transmit the PDCCH. But for uplink, we cannot transmit any control information and the data information. Only it can transmit the pirate, the rainbow. So for uplink, we cannot use the special. So the nearest is the 7 to feedback, ACK or NACK, and also when it should transmit the next data. If I feedback a NACK, when it will feedback the data. So continue. Like this. Okay? You add 4, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. It's special. It's special. We can transmit the downlink data. Right? We can transmit the downlink data. Like this. So how many from the first one to the second one, how many downlink subframes? That is how many hack process we transmitted together. So it's different with the FDD. So for TDD, this is just one configuration, right? So for different configuration, it will have a different synchronization time. So the protocol have already defined every configuration and every subframe if you transmit, what's the time delay. So for the TDD, it's complex than FDD. It's complex for FDD. FDD is just, okay, its time is 4. Time is 4. And I just added the hack process number. The hack process number is just from 1 to 8, right? But for TDD, the hack process number I set maybe to 15. The maximum is 15. And for the different subframe, the different time delay. For example, if I transmit in the 1, the feedback is also in 7. But now time delay is changed, right? The time delay is changed. If I use the third one, the subframe 3, also the time delay is changed. So for TDD, every subframe's time delay is different. And for different configuration, the RTT timer is different. So TDD is more complex than FDD. But actually the principle are same. I just need to feedback in the uplink subframe or downlink. But just the difference is that the FDD is always can used for TDD or for uplink or downlink. But the TDD is only some special subframes for the TDD or FDD. So I need waiting the time. This is the difference. So you just need to understand the FDD. Then you see the TDD is similar. It's difficult, but the principles are similar. So if I feedback a NAC, for the first time I transmit error data. Error data is useless or useful. Even it's an error data to transmit. But this is the difference. So this is the MAC layer. For MAC layer, I think is the difficultest, the most difficult part. in our protocols. For the rest, I think it's very simple. It's very simple. So for the RC layer, it's in the hair of the mic, right? In the hair of the mic. So yeah, when we briefly introduced the protocol, I said for the RC, one function is ARC. You have already know what is ARC. It cannot correct the information, but it will give it a feedback. So if it gives a feedback, it can enhance the reliable, right? It can enhance the reliable. So this hack process, you can adopt it. You can also don't adopt it. So for this, whether we use ARC or not, we define the RRC has 3 modes, 3 transmitters. We name it so if we use ARC, we name this as AM mode. And the acknowledgement, the transmission mode. Okay, if we don't use ARC, if there is no ARC procedure, that means we don't need to give it a feedback. So we name it UR, unacknowledgement mode. And for the RC, we know in the MAC layer, some information is just transparent from the MAC layer. I just transmit it, I don't process it, right? So in the RC layer, it's same. We also have some information, just transparent, transmit it. We don't process it. So for some information, if we don't process it, we name is the transparent mode. All of the channels we transmit, it has these 3 modes. The TM, UM, or AM. You can only select one. So for some information, we will select the TM. For some information, we will select UM. For some information, maybe you select AM. Yeah, for example, for signaling, we need to guarantee the signaling is transmitted reliably. So we need to select the AM mode. It must be AM mode. But for voice data, if you use VoLTE, you will use a different one. Because for VoLTE, when we talk about when you call somebody, yeah, there is some small error. It doesn't matter. Yes, but we need short-term delay, so we can use UR. Yeah. So for different information, for different service, we will use the different mode. So for the RC layer architecture, because we have different mode, so we have different entity. So each mode, it will have itself entity. So I can see this is the TM mode entity. One is transmitting, one is receiving. This is no B side, this is UE side. So in the UE side is same. One receiving, one transmitting. Yeah, the node B transmitting is maps to the UE, and the node B receiving maps to the UE transmitting, right? And for the UM mode, it also has 2 entities. One transmitting, one receiving. But here is different. AM mode is different. There is only one entity. Why there is only one? You can think about what I said before. What is AM, UM, PM? So from this picture, you can also see that For the UM and TM, it have two entities. But for AM mode, it only have one AMRC entity. Why there is only one? So this one is transmitting or receiving? It's transmitting or receiving? Both, right. So it means for TM and UM, each entity is just the unidirectional. Yeah, it's single. It's single. I can only transmit or receive. Because the transmit and receive, I don't need to communicate. Right? I don't need to communicate. But for the AM mode, there is only one entity. That means it's the bidirectional. Bidirectional. Yeah? It contains the transmit and the receive. We combine it. That means the receive and the transmit, they need to communicate because we have the arc. Yes? We have the arc. If I transmit it, I will receive the arc. I will, according the arc, I will according the receiving message to decide how to transmit. Right? So there is only one entity. So from this picture, from the structure, you can also know, okay, this is the RC mainly function. Mainly function. I have three different transmission mode. And from the entity, for the TM and the UM, I don't need to give it a feedback. Okay, let's see the different functions for different transmission mode. So for RC layer, yeah, it will transfer the data from upper layer to low layer. So all of the transmission mode, I need to transmit the data. So the TM, UM, AM, it has it. And for the error correction, so only AM, it has error correction. Right? It's error correction through AM. So only in the AM mode. For the concatenation, segmentation, and the reassembly, it's only used in UM and AM because TM is transparent. We don't process it. For TM, there is no process. So you can see all the processing only contained in the UM or AM. For TM, no processing. It's blank. Right? For the resegmentation is segmentation and the resegmentation. Yeah, this two is same. And for the reordering, what is reordering? Reordering is that because we may segment it or concatenation it, so the sequence it arrived, all the information, all the packets it arrived may be in a wrong order. When we transmit the data to the up layer, I need to guarantee all the data and transmitted is by sequence. So I need first reordering it. And for the duplicate detection, that is maybe I received the same data many times. So I need to detect whether there is a duplicate word. If there is duplicate, I will discard it. So the duplicate detection. So because, for example, for the AM, it's very easier to understand it. Because we will transmit the ARC or NAC. Maybe the other end, it will decode it wrongly. Right? I transmit an ARC, but you think it's a NAC. Okay, you retransmit it again. Right? Maybe for the entity itself, I have already transmitted data 1, but I think I missed. I will transmit it again. For the system itself, it's wrong. So it will first detect whether it's duplicate. And if I find some duplicate, I will discard it. And this is re-establishment. All of the TM, UM, AM, it should detect the RRC. This link is normal. And for the protocol error detection, it's only for error detection is for AM. So for the RC layers, it wants some functions, it wants some information from MAC layer, and it will also transmit some to the PDCP. For the MAC layer, it will transmit the data to RRC, and it will report the size, the RC PDU size. Okay, the RC will according the PDU size to decide is from the segmented or from the computation. It's decided this information. The MAC layer transmit it. And the RC layer, it will transmit the data to the PDCP. And it also should guarantee if you use the AM mode or the UM mode, it should guarantee the sequence number is right. So again, we first tea break, and after that we talk about which information, which channel it should use, which transmission mode. Okay.
Meeting. Gak ada WA coy.
Kalau kayak kalau uangnya sini tuh dibeli kan sih? Uang dibeli si maksudnya di mereka. Oh, uang ya? Gak tahu. Oh, uang message itu buat lihat error ini.
Ayo guys.
Buat ini ngecek bisa transmisinya transmisi paket errornya ini lah, gitu. Nah, bisa dilihat dari situ. Cuma harus setting IP.
Pusatnya di mana? Pusatnya di tinggal.
Tadi kalau ingat dia yang setting, dia nih mana? RSD.
Saya benar.
Titiknya yang paling jauh yang masukkan. Wah, kalau yang kita tahu.
Makanya gue mau bawa penduduk ini.
Sana bisa dikondisikan berjalan.
Orang sering mengkondisikan.
Data sales. Langsung Sistem oh panasan tapi bisa iya, tapi kan mereka emang tuh juara. Tapi emang nggak ubah urusan mereka. Mungkin mereka tuh juara itu kan kenceng ya. Tapi mereka mau ini klasifikasi ini nanti yang karena masih berapa ini kesulitan. Ayo jadi semua serikat selawe jelaskan per sektor ini kan itu mungkin per unit persen mereka lagi masalahnya kan isi buku kan terus satu track si pusat dan biasa kalau buat terus yang tinggal lorong combine tahu data sekolah pengisian pulsa jadi orang saya subscribe lagi atau tapi revenue-nya yang set yaitu pulsa dan dari sisi pendek masa privasi ya set mana ada asisten guru puasa oh iya nanti saya sih boleh dua
tahu nih
sudah selesai saat nanti masalahnya
baru itu baru
sih nggak pernah aktifasi perusahaan itu apa-apa bu gue lagi ya data ini ya double ya aku mau ngitungnya ya
tapi dia kesuai langsung
oh jadi tekannya itu kurang nih kalau ini kan paling ini
ya katanya sekolah jadi tahu gimana ya besok lagi lah saya prioritas terkait
boleh pesan yang suara aja terakhir oh yang terlalu sih ada apa yang begini memang kita mobil apa ya masih tapi kan kalau ini kan pulau sepanjang selat sepanjang mas sedikit Selawasan Lawas Balailan jadi orang arti pindah lagi rame sih ini nggak apa-apa kalau gitu pindah ternyata baru tinggi lagi saya enggak trappingnya masih muda videonya masih muda jadi kita bisa langsung lewat kaki
seperti langsung dewe
jadi antara ini maksudnya jelas yang mau kuliah di spot kan langsung sih itu gampang kalau kamu ada udah tol udah males deh pasti males ada syarat
Tegal belum kan tahun ini?
udah kayak itu jadi tahun ini lah
Yang konfirmasi
tahun ini aja
Kemarin
ini masalahnya
itulah protein
bedain dua
senario lah itu
waktunya. Ternyata gue coba ya waktu dari ngawin itu atau terus kan yang ngabisin 4 juta itu paling 5 jam.
yang masuk yang sing tidak seimbang
ngawin itu udah masuk sampai
susah
itu 12 tahun.
12 ya. Bawen.
Sekarang
dengan
belum
teknik
ini
4 tiga
sebelum makan tolong tapi itu jauh dibantu lah. Nah makanya kalau itu berapa jam? 8-7 jam lah. Mending ngono lagi. Itu dipakai juga udah gimana kita waktu itu masih belum LTE di makanya yang gampang itu kalau sih itu ngerti-ngerti. Tapi kalau itu tidak menikmatinya nggak menerima gejala dari kota. Kalau sih kan
misalnya update mana update asal
dekat sini. Gue dekat ini masanya di
jadi update pemilu sekarang
masanya ya.
jadi running masing-masing area lab dinamika jadi juga jadi update setiap ada kegiatan kita soalnya dulu di Bali bisa kan itu
Nah, terus para komplain iso tak takoni. Mas itu berapa belum? Sekitar tanggal 15 dialognya impor terus oh iya terus tak TV kan bikin istilah
iya
iya mas itu ya wes kan
tapi aku jadi tahan tak terus yang video setelah beberapa hari kan mas komplain terus saya dibalik langsung udah langsung ada tapi kan cara justifikasi komplain
Oh, nggak ke bawah gue itu.
wah iya
Terima kasih. Ya, elah, masih di kantung. Biar gaya. Pandai. Enak kayak.
Wajib.
Kasih jam 1 gitu untuk semua.
Taruh di rumah temen.
Kita lupa lagi ada nyampe, nggak ada nyampe dong.
Gak ada. Gak ada. Dari mana aja lu?
Sudah sampai tujuannya, silakan naik tuh.
Taruh tuh. Hari.
Tak bintang aja.
Apa? Iya. Engkau. Jam berapa? Tadi kita sekarang.
Kalau jadi
Kota. Ini dia. Iya. Oh. Foto lah ya kawan. Lumayan lah. Gimana?
siaran lu bos.
Ngomong sama kayak gitu. Anu, berarti kata IKP ya? Nomor mana? Kaos, jangan. Apa? Oh, smart. Smart sih. PM dengan AC-nya Pak. Ya Pak.
Bapak sana masih selamat kerja.
Ngapain aja, ngajarin aja.
Ada lagi ngomong bayar
Gitu kan. Ini kan dari
yang untuk Sebastian yang bilang Bandung bagi udah udah mungkin udah pas sudah semua apa saya Bandung sekolah excuse aja malu dalam hati sama kalian bagus kalau kerja doang apa teknisnya yang sesungguhnya itu belum tentu ada. Kenapa di sini?
Kan dulu.
Passionnya itu di sini, nggak passion lo masak. Iya. Biasanya buat cari duit. Di sini bisa. Burger
Iya.
burger tanpa dimakan sandwich rotinya kan kentang oh belum dimakan
Yang dimakan paling juga masih nggak tahu.
CCCH and the PCCH, that is the paging information and the patient and the common control information. These three kinds of information, they use the TM mode. That is the RRC. They will not process these informations. I just transparent to it. So for transparent is that the RRC, it will not add the header. It will not add the header. From the PDCP, I received it and I transmit it directly. I will not process it and I will not add the header. This is transparent. So for the receive, it's same as receiving it. From the lower layer, I receive it and I transmit to the upper layer. Yeah, it's very, very simple. So this we can see that for the common control information, paging is one common control information. Yes, it's not dedicated for one UE. It's for all the UE in the cells. And for the broadcast information, it's also for all the UE. So for the common control information, it will use the TF mode. Similar with the MAC layer. Do you remember the MAC layer diagram? In the MAC layer picture, the PCCH and the BCCH for the mail is also not processed. Yes? So the RC layer is the upper layer, the RC layer. For these three kinds of information, it will not process. For UM mode, because for UM mode, yeah, I will not give it a feedback, but I will process it. Just the difference is that no feedback, but I will process it. So for the process procedure is that if I received data, I will first look at it in the buffer, and from that buffer, I will decide to perform segmentation or concatenation. Yeah. So this procedure is according to the MAC layer will give it a feedback, the resource, the RC PDU size. So it will according to the PDU size to decide perform the segmentation or the concatenation. These two. So if I perform this, okay, I get the PDU and I add the PDU header, and I will transmit it. Okay, here. When I receive it, I will perform the reordering. Here is no hug. It's just right here, but no hug. It will perform the reordering. That is, all the packets I transmit, when I receive as the guarantee, it processed one by one. When I deliver it to the upper layer, as the guaranteed sequence. So it have a reordering. So after that, I remove the header and I will perform the reassembly according to here. Reassembly. And that is the data I received. After the reassembly, I will get the data here. I transmit. Okay, I deliver it to the upper layer. So for the UM mode, the procedure is almost similar with the AM, but the difference is that there is no buffer to save the data, to retransmit the data, no feedback. So for this kind, we cannot guarantee it's reliable. So for this, for some DCCH and DTCH, we can use it. But usually we only use it for the DTCH. Use it for the DCC. Even the protocol defined, okay, for the DCCH and the DTCH, you can use the UI, but actually we don't use for DCCH. That is, DCCH is transmit signaling. We should guarantee our signaling is transmitted correctly. So we don't use UI. The protocol defined, but in reality, we don't use it. This is the UI procedure. And for the AM procedure, it's used also for DCCH or DTCH. So here is first realizer. We first locate it in the transmission buffer, and after that, this is just the up layer data around. I will locate it in the buffer, and from the buffer I will transmit it to the lower layer. So I first perform the segmentation or the connotation, and after that, for this one, I will add as a header. Okay, this one I need to deliver to the lower layer. But before I deliver to the lower layer, I also will put it to the retransmission buffer. Maybe I need to retransmit it. So I will put it to the retransmission buffer. Okay, and when I deliver to the lower layer, okay, when it received it, okay, here is a reordering. And for the RC control, it's an RC control, and for the AM it will have control. It will control this whole link, to the RC whole link. And in this part, it will detect it's right or not. It will give it a feedback. So for this part, it's same with the UM mode, but it will detect if there is knock. If there is knock, it will give it feedback. So here we have a retransmission. Now, for example, we get the knock response. So I will go to the retransmission buffer to get this data. So for this retransmitted data, maybe this time the market layer gave it a small size PDO. So maybe it will perform resegmentation. Maybe the PDU size is enough, it's okay. So it go to add the header directly to transmit. So here it have two paths. It's according to which one? The PDU size, the mark layer indicate. So here, if the PDU size is less than this packet, data packet, okay, I need to resegment it, and perform the resegmentation and add the RC header and retransmit it. So if the PDU size is greater than this retransmit data, I just add a header directly to retransmit it. So for the retransmitting, it also needs add the header. I think it's
will add the in header and on the when look directly to the add header.
We have some parameters to control it, because when the UA transmit it or the USB transmit it, it should wait, right? But it cannot always wait. So we are polling, and then it will detect here the arc. So first, I will receive the packet. For example, I transmit this is a PDU1, is PDU2, is PDU3, like this. I need to transmit by sequence, yes? So when I receive, I also need first receive PDU1 and PDU2 and PDU3. Should receive by sequence. But maybe PDU2 is missed. It's missed. So when I receive, for example, I received PDO 1. Next time, I don't receive PDO 2, I receive PDO 3. This one I don't receive. Okay, I will restart. I will start a timer. Is reordering timer. That means I need waiting for this one. I need waiting for this one. Reordering timer. So if during this timer I can receive it. I can receive it. Okay, I stop my timer. So during this timer, I cannot receive it. That means this packet is lost. Right? This packet is lost. Okay, how to do? It to feedback. It should feedback NAC. This is one kind. It should use the reordering timer to control. I cannot always waiting it. Yes. So that's it one kind. Another is that okay, I receive it. All of the packets I received, but I cannot decode it, right? I just received it. I should decode it. I should decode the SDO in it. Each PDO, it contains many SDO, right? I need to get the SDO. Maybe one PDO, I can decode it. So I will, for this, I receive, but I cannot decode. Okay, I will feedback the NAC. But for this NAC, for the RRC, for the mark layer, the hash procedure, yeah, every TTR, every data packet is mapped to one hash process. But for the RC layer, even every PDU it have a mapping of NAC on ARC, but we will not transmit in time. That is, we will set a polling parameter. That is, for the polling index, I will wait in some time. And this is a polling timer. Okay, I will wait this time. I will feedback all this time, all these packets, ARC or NAC. So the polling, it contains serious parameter. So this afternoon and tomorrow we talk about the signaling, and we will from the signaling we to analyze the parameters it contains many parameters. So when we open the signaling, we check it all the parameters. So here it will controlled by the parameters. It's not always waiting for it, and when to give it the feedback. So the transmit side, it will add it will insert a note that I need your feedback. If the, for example, this is UE, this is node B. If the UE transmits data to the node B should feedback. So when the node B feedback is a UE side, when the UE transmits a data, it will insert a mark. It will insert one bit to indicate, okay, you need to give me a feedback. So it will feedback. So all these parameters we can configure. So it will decide, as your question, who decides how to know. So in the parameter, this parameter it not be configured. It not be configured how to feedback and how long we need to wait. So this afternoon we check these parameters. Okay. Just the basic theory is like this, but the exact value we can configure, we can to change, and we can check in the signaling.
Also, if during the transmit data, video 1, video 2, video 3, so the video 2, this is lost. So during the transmit data, after send the video 1, so they directly send the video 3 or wait video 2 until they synchronize and already retransmit and then send video 3 or directly after video 1 and then video 3, but in video 2 is lost.
For the video 2, for example, if the video 2 is lost and I cannot receive it, I will discard it. I don't receive it anymore. Yeah, discard it. For if PDU1 is complete, we know it's for the before we generated the PDU is the SDU. I found a picture for you. But it's a good picture, but it's not English. It doesn't matter.
Oh.
I just let you you see the characters. I will show you one picture. One good picture, but no English.
Bisa dibaca foto.
Dia mah tapi hebat ya, dari kecil udah ngerti bahasa Inggris.
This is why our great man translated the protocol to Chinese.
Paling atas.
Let me find.
Sorry. Teks kata yang mau dekat kata.
Itu aja. Paling atas.
Sih ya kayak itu karena mungkin semuanya orang kan sama kayak Indonesia ya bisa.
Like this one. Okay, it's very clear. I think it's very clear. So this is the first packet. Is from the up layer around an RC layer, and it will process and transmit to the MAC layer. MAC layer will start the hack procedure, and it will transmit to the physical layer, and it received from physical layer to MAC layer to RC layer, and go to PDCP. Okay, we're from the first to introduce it. So this is the RC layer. So from PDCP, we receive many SDU. Yes, we call it SDU. So all the SDUs we need to perform the assemble, or perform the segmentation, or perform the concatenation, like this. So this is the PDU. PDU size is decided by the MAC layer. MAC layer reports the PDU size. Okay, the PDU size is how already fixed because it's decided by the MAC layer, right? So this is the PDU size. So this is our SDU size. So here, for the first PDU, if I locate the first SDU, it has some rest, right? So I will perform segmentation for the second. Okay, part 1, I locate it in the first PDU. Part 2, I locate it in the second PDU. So here, for this PDU, we perform the concatenation. Right? For 2 SDU, we concatenation it. But for the SDU, we perform the segmentation. This is what is segmentation and the concatenation, like this. And all the SDU, we will locate it in 4 PDU. So each PDU is not only contains one SDU. It maybe contains several parts of SDU. And for one SDU, it may be divided into several PDU. Right? From this picture. So every PDU is arrived at the MAC layer. Right? It will arrive at the MAC layer. The MAC layer will start a hack process. Yes. It's a hack process. Okay, process 1, 2, 3, 4.
During the allocation SDU to this PDU, how many percent to allocate from SDU to the PDU?
How many percent?
Yes, all SDU will be allocated to PDU because this is combined.
Yeah.
From SDU 15, PDU 16 will be to combine in PDU 6. my question is how many percent to this SDU 15 and video 16 to this allocated video 6, or all of SDU 16 and 15 to allocate in video 6?
For how many percent is not a fixed value, because it's according to the PDU size. Okay, this size is fixed. Maybe you can locate it at 50%, maybe you can locate it at 60%. It's decided the size. And that's like our classroom, the size is fixed. How many trainees we can contain? For example, we have 40 trainees. But if we here, we only have other rooms. But maybe another trainees we have 30. Okay, all of you can come here by the size, the PDU size and also the SDU size. Yeah. So no fixed percent, no fixed percent. So that's the way according to this PDU, according to PDU size. Who decides it? McLear decides it. McLear decides it. McLear, how to decide it? It will according the real physical layer resource. Maybe for the radio resource, I only have this. I cannot give you a large size. Right? For example, yeah, our room is the space is just right here. It's fixed. I cannot change it. So it will according to the resource to schedule one to the RC layer. So it will according to the PDU size to decide perform the segmentation or cognition, like this. Yeah. So this PDU size, the RC PDU around the MAC layer is the MAC SDU, right? MAC SDU, and it will start the hack process. For example, one SDU is one PDU, so it's one hack process. I will transmit to the other end. For example, this is UE, this is in the bit. It doesn't matter. Both two sides are same. The procedure are same. So when I received from the MAC layer, it will have a hack process. Yes. For example, the second hack, this data packet, I'm lost. I lost this packet. So we don't have this data, right? So I only have the 1, 3, 4. This data we should wait because it will start the hack process. Yes, it's lost. It will give it a feedback knock. It's lost, right? So it needs time. So at this time, we only receive 2, 1, 3. Maybe even you feedback the knock, it also need to retransmit, or you also receive the wrong one, like this. So we think here is lost and we cannot get it. We lost this data. So we lost this data, we get this one, the hack 1 is PDU 6, the hack 3 is PDU 8, the hack 4 is PDU 9. Yes? We cannot receive this. We cannot receive this. So the 7 lost. The 7 lost. So we get 6, 8, and 9. When I receive 6, the next I should receive 7. Yes? I should receive 7. But 7 is lost. I receive is 8. Okay. I need to start the reordering timer. Okay, I need to waiting this. How long I should wait is that timer? If that timer expires, okay, I will not wait this. I will not wait the 7 packet. So I only receive 6, 9, 8. Okay. PDU 6 is the SDU 15 and as part of SDU 16, right? And for the PDU 8 is the SDU 17. And for the PDU 8 is one part of SDU 18, right? And the PDU 9 is part of SDU 18 and SDU 19. So you can see that for the SDU 16, it totally contained in the PDU 6 and the PDU 7. But PDU 7 is lost. That means that part of SDU is lost. I cannot get it, right? Okay, this one we should discard because I cannot get that part. I cannot perform the reassemble. Yes, I cannot perform the reassemble. So discard. And for the STU17, one part from the PDU and also another part from the PDU7 is lost. Right? So here, one part from the PDU7. Okay, I cannot get it. Okay, I will discard it. For the 18, it's okay. I get it. Right? I get it. And for the 19, okay, I get it. So for some, I cannot perform the reassemble. I will discard. For some, I have already get the full data, or I will transmit to the PDCP layer. And for the PDCP layer, it also have the sequence number. It will maintain its sequence number. I also need to guarantee the data transmitted one by one. Yeah, so it will be performed by the PDCP layer. For the RC layer, so it will check, okay, whether it's normal. So how to control when to discard, when to transmit the ARC or not, when need to retransmit the data, how long I should wait, it's controlled by some parameters. Yeah, but the logic, the theory is like this. So now, are you clear about the RC? How to segment it, how to reassemble it, how to segmentation, like this. Yeah.
Wally,
Mm-hmm.
so what is happening for the SU16 and 17?
Mm-hmm. What will happen?
Yeah, what will
So it generates a blur. Yes. We just load it, and we can for the different for signaling of the data, we give it a different tolerance about the error bit. Yeah, for the data, we the tolerance bit error is 10%. That's 10%. For signaling, it's 1%. So how to guarantee you can get 1% or 2% is by the hardware procedure and the AI. It will guarantee. So if you open up once, it doesn't matter. If you are in the, you can control the error bit rate in the 10%. So if the error is here, the unset is channel current is not the industry will adjust. Yeah, it will only how many bits is lost, how many letters is lost. Yeah, the industry will adjust the unset if the error bit is too many. It will adjust it. Like the error bit exceeds the 2%.
So this process happened in the area of research.
Yes. Yes, from the MME to the pieces and that's why interface. Yes, that's why interface they use a different protocol. Yeah, the protocol are different to precise, also
Ini jelasin di sini.
Many packets lost.
Yes, so it will how to calculate this error. So if we receive a number, when we calculate this error is according to the actual number. So from the size for the applicable downlink, it will calculate. For example, for the downlink, how many bits we for lost and error, they are almost the same. If it's error, we can discard it. So for error loss,
tujuannya akhir itu
fraction of
yang
so if there is so how many nuts I received and how many I feedback up and down. This one I will calculate error rate. And for this is for the how many nuts I sent out? How many nuts I sent out? Bisa calculate up and down.
Yang multiplex kan, masih 15 dikasih.
Ya, tujuan
How to employ it.
Yang silang
Actually, it's in the base in the configuration. You can configure the error
satu,
rate.
ya kan?
For example, if you configure
Proses itu sepanjang. Nah, dikurangi header, dia setelah 15 masukkan. Terus dia punya sisa resource itu SDG 16 sebagian dimasukkan di Windows sebagai disk.
terus dia ngirim lagi data yang baru cover lagi kalau misalnya kurang sekali kirim
So we can guarantee the efficiency. So we tested one, 10% or 5%.
Ini perjalanannya itu dari LTE ke dan hasil lagi. Ini dari atas ke bawah itu relasi net, dari tengah ke bawah itu.
That's the way to figure this out. You know, you want to figure this out. It's one parameter. And you can also do this with
Nah itu ada di
Okay, so some people say are interested in how to control the bit error rate. Yes, you know, if we lost so many packets, it will affect the you receive it or you not be receive it. So in the input B side, it will adjust the MCS. So if the bit error rate is here, if the bit error is here, that means the channel quality is not good. I allocate improper MCS for you. You need to slow down the bit rate. Yes. So yes, it's also the MCS. So MCS is a basic but very, very important parameter. It will decide the TB size. It will decide the bit error. So if the input B can adjust the MCS properly, so we can guarantee the data transmitted properly. So how to adjust the MCS properly is that if you report the CQI, if you can detect the CQI exactly and transmit it, report it to the input B, it will be okay. Yes. So in the input B side, we can configure the bit error bit. That is if the bit error rate we set is 10%. If we set 10%, the input B will guarantee all the error bits controlled by the 10%. If you set 5%, okay, it's very strict. It's very strict. So okay, I will control the error bit in 5%. So I will give you a smaller MCS to guarantee you can transmit it reliably. So this threshold, from this threshold, I will set, based on this threshold, I will set a highest MCS for you. So if you set 10% and set 5%, the MCS will be different.
Sorry, can you explain again about the blur?
The blur is that how to calculate the blur is Usually for calculating the blur, we use the mark layer hash process. So we will, in the physical layer, you will feedback NAC or ARC. Yes? If I receive a NAC, that means, okay, it's wrong. No matter it's lost or it's wrong. Yeah, it doesn't matter. I received a NAC, I cannot receive this data correctly. If I receive an ARC, that means I receive the data correctly. I just through these two numbers, I can get this. So for this, we have the downlink and the uplink. Yeah? So for uplink, is the UE transmit data, the inode B receive. Yes? So the UE transmit data. The inode B create a feedback, give it a NAC or ARC. So the inode B can calculate how many ARC and NAC I transmit. So the NAC number divides the ARC and the NAC number is the uplink. As this is the inode B transmit. And for the downlink, is inode B transmit data, and the UE transmit the ARC or NAC. It's node B receive. Here is transmit. Here is receive. Like this. So from the inode B side, you can calculate it. So if you give it a threshold, the inode B will control this to less than it. So how to control it? We adjust the MCS. We can slow the MCS, give it a smaller value. So you can slow the blur.
So this is you mean the 10% is still okay? I mean it's this
For
is the threshold.
for usually for data service we set 10%.
10%.
Yeah, for signaling the default value is 1%. So how to guarantee the 1%? One is for the we need to use the hack, and also for RC you need to use the AM, cannot use UM. The AM and the hack procedure. For the data service, we only use the hack procedure. We don't use the RRC, AM, just use UM is okay. Because the blur, this value is bigger. It's bigger. So we just need to adjust MCS and to guarantee it can smaller than this value. It's enough.
So if the blend is more than 2%, we only adjust the MCS, no other parameters.
It will not greater than 10. If you set 10, that means 10 is the biggest. So it will set, according to this 10, it will set greatest MCS. So maybe if you set 10, okay, the greatest MCS is 27. But if you set 5%, you cannot use the 27. Maybe you only use 23. So it will use this one to decide MCS. Your MCS cannot greater than this value. If you greater than this value, it will exceed this value. The inode B cannot allow you to exceed this value. You can think this is the biggest. You set a threshold. It cannot exceed this value. So from the blur, the MCS who decide it. One is blur. One is MCS. One is the CNR. The CNR is what? The channel quality. Yes, the channel quality, if it's good, okay, I will give a MCS, good MCS. If the channel is bad, okay, I give you a lower MCS. So not only when we talk about the outside, the CNR it will affect MCS, but it's not only MCS. These two. So if you give it a different blur, you will generate a different MCS, the highest MCS. the highest MCS. So the inert B will cannot exceed this value. It will cannot exceed this value. So if you set the blur, this value is larger. This value is larger. The MCS, that means I tolerate more data can be wrong. So I just to guarantee you get a higher data rate like this. This is just a simple relation. So it's realized by the inert B. For different manufacturers, it also realized by different methods. But the basic theory are same. All the inert B, they realize how to decide the MCS is the same. But these two, how many percent the blur decide, how many percent by the center decide is according to the different manufacturers. And inert B is your last. So you can note for Warty, and for the Warty we have KPI. For Warty we have a KPI is the most value. Yes? For Warty you will evaluate the most. Whether the most is here. The most is here, it will be better. So one method to control the most is that I give you a strict blur value, a blur threshold. Okay, I can set 5%, and I can also set 3%. I can guarantee you get a hair most. So the same principle. Okay, so the RC, it will report the data to the PDCP layer, and the PDCP layer will transmit to the RC layer. So for PDCP, is the highest layer for the user plane, yes? And for the control plane, the upper layer we have the RC. So PDCP, it will transmit the data to the upper layer. The upper layer may be RC, maybe the different apps. When it arrived at PDCP, the PDCP entity, it will map to the RC entity. So for RC, we have UM entity, AM entity, and the transparent entity. So also the PDCP, it maps to the RC. It also has several entity. So for the different entity, if we transmit different information, it will have different function. Yeah, yesterday I introduced for the control plane. The control plane we transmit is signaling. So we transmit is the DCCH. Yes, DCCH we carry it in the DCCH. It's dedicated control information. So you can see that here for the PDCP layer, it will process only DTCH and DCCH. But for our channels, we also have what? We also have BCCH. We also have the paging. Yes, we also have the paging. We also have the broadcast information. We also have the common control. But here, it will not give it the protection. Right? It will not give it the protection. It only gives dedicated traffic and dedicated control. Why it does not give the broadcast and the paging and the common signaling, the protection is the integrity and the security like this. Yes, this protection. Why it didn't give for example, the mail. Why it didn't give the mail the protection? Because this information is a common, yes? Some UE, if I want to select the cell, I don't perform the security command with InnoP and the MME, yes? But I also need read this information. So if we perform it by the PDCP layer, the UE cannot read this information, yes? So only the DCCH and DTCH, that means when we active this protection, that means this UE have already attached on this cell. From these two channels, you can read this information. You can read this. Okay. For DTCH, this is user plan. The user plan. So for this user plan, one is transmit the PDCH packet. Yeah. Another is it will maintain the SN number. SN is the sequence number. So every packet arrived at PDCP, it will have a sequence number. Give it a sequence number. This sequence number is very, very useful. It's very, very useful. And another function is that when we perform the handover, we need to hand over from the source inode B to the destinated inode B. So for destinated inode B, you also need to send the data to it. Yeah, from the source data to the target data. From the source inode B to the target inode B. So it will result in the PDU data from the lower layer during a handover. And also through the handover, I need to use this SN. We also need to transmit the SN number to tell the target, okay, now it's which one. This is SN number. And another two is the basic function. One is the header compression. So if we add header compression, so we need instructed decompression. Yeah. And for encryption and decryption, this is for the user plan. For control plan, it's same. It's almost the same with the user plan, but it's different here. There is no IP header compression, and it adds the integrity protection. For signaling, we should give it the integrity protection. This is the functions. So this is the process, the entity, the process procedure. So if there is a data arrived at the PDCP layer, it first give it a sequence number. And after that, if it's the user plan and you open this switch, if this is a user data, and also you open the switch you can open and you also can close. If you close, it will not perform the header compression. Yeah, this is a switch. So for the user plan, if I open the switch, it will perform the header compression. And after that, I will perform the ciphering. This is the control plan only. So I will perform the ciphering and add the PDCP header, go to the lower layer. And when I received from the lower layer, first remove the PDCP header and deciphering. And after that, if I compress the header, I need decompression. And I need to detect whether all the here it should perform the duplicate detection. This is for the user plan. Why it will detect the duplicate detection? Actually, in the hack layer, in the MAC layer and RC layer, it's also performed the duplicate detection. But we cannot guarantee all of the layers perform this step exactly. So maybe it also has some same data. So it will detect if there is a duplicate one. It will discard it. Okay. This is for the user plan. For the control plan, it's when the data, the signaling from the RC layer into around here, it will also give it as a number, the sequence number. And after that, it will perform the integrity protection and perform the ciphering at the header, deliver to lower layer. And received from the lower layer, remove the header first, and the deciphering and the integrity verification. If this step is failed, if I detect the signaling, the integrity is broken. The integrity is broken. So I will discard it. I will discard it. And I will re-establish the RC connection. Because with the guarantee, the RC connection is security. So if I detect when we perform the integrity verification, if it's failure, we will re-establish the RC connection. So one reason of RC re-establishment is the integrity verification failure. Yeah. So if it's okay, we detect it's okay, we will deliver it to the hair layer, to the RC layer. So this is the PGCP procedure. Mm-hmm.
So what happens if somebody's for example, if somebody is using
Nggak bisa coding sih?
create another image.
Bikin tidur lagi.
Bahasa asli.
Kedua kalah dulu buat kak.
Adding TCP header.
Coding nih coding gitu.
This is between the input D and the communication through the error circuit, right? Then somebody is
Tadi penasaran bagaimana bentuk duduk kasar tadi. Kayak enak.
to move the
Iya,
connectivity.
encrypt.
Ya, udah enak ya. Apa lagi?
Is it possible?
I think
Because it should be secure, right?
yeah. So this UE,
Betul.
they use the PGCP header compression. You will have the algorithm. This algorithm is designed to process in the P. When this in the P, it knows you which algorithm. Okay, it will decide. So the UE uses only this in the P receive it and then decode it. So others in the P cannot. So at which condition is okay inside, you know, our network with our K technology is top.
Satunya
It's
pegang.
top. Coordinate
Ini juga yang
multi-top.
apa contoh?
Yeah, the problem is that these two in the P, they can communicate that these two interface. So I tell you my UE information and which algorithm I use, you can decode it. I can decode it. Even you don't need to decode it, you just receive it and you transmit it for me. So usually for the normal, the input side, only the source input can decode it, other input cannot decode it. If the input they communicate, okay. For example, the UE hand over to another. Yes. So I from the input 1 hand over to the input 2, and I touch. So input 2 and input 1, they will use two surfaces. They will communicate. They will
Walaupun dekat
transfer
tidak ada.
the US information.
Kayaknya
So
sih
it's
ada tapi
okay.
bukan Tiki ya.
It's okay. So before you hand over to the second input B, the first input B first transmit the UE information, the UE context, and the all information about this UE to the target input B. It can decode it. Yeah. If there is no communicate, it cannot.
Coding document.
So the RC layer, it will deliver the data transmission to PDCP. PDCP will deliver to RC. For control plane, for user plane, it will go to the upper left. So that is PDCP layer. For RC layer, actually RC layer is the control information. So our control information, it contains many for the mobility management, for the QoS management, and for the NAS transmission, and for the broadcasting, heading, and RC connection establishment, re-establishment, and the security management for the AS layer, and the RB, that is radio barrier establishment. So all the functions released in Node B management is realized in the RC layer. So such as in the we know in the 3D before we have the controller. Yes, all the management function is realized. But in 4D we don't have the controller. So the management function is removed to the Node B side. So the Node B side is realized in the RC layer. This is the control layer. So for different management, it's realized by the different signaling. So we have so many different kinds of management. So we have different signalings. So we only introduce some basic signaling. And in the afternoon, we will introduce such as attach, the service, the total signaling. So now we only introduce some basic. So for the broadcast flow inside broadcast information, we know we have two kinds. One is made, one is saved. Do you remember what is SIP 1, what is SIP 2, what is SIP 3?
Yeah.
Yes. Yes, remember.
Yeah. But I forgot already.
I know yesterday.
Yes, yesterday we introduced.
There are 5, right? Exactly, and 5, right?
For some master information, it's contained in the master information block. Yes, the most important. It contains 3 kind of information: the downlink bandwidth, the SFN, and the PHSH configuration. Right? And for SIPs, so the UE will first read the most important information from the mail, and I also need the cell information. So the cell information for cell selection is SIP 1. Yes, when you check the signalings, you will see, okay, it first read a mail, and the second it read the SIP 1. For SIP 1, it's only the cell basic selection parameters for the cells, ECGI, the cells, tag, and the others, the basic parameters. So if I select this cell, I need to attach on this cell. So I need to know this cell's channels configuration. Yes, the common configuration. It will read the SIP 2. So from SIP 2 to SIP 8, it contained in the SI, one SI. So this SI, it contains SIP 2 and the SIP 3, and others is based on the selection. You can configure it, yes? So SIP 3 is the cell reselection parameters about the serving cell. Yes? And the SIP 4 is the cell reselection parameters about the intra-frequency reselection of neighbor cell. Yes? Of neighbor cell. So intra-frequency neighbor cell. And SIP 5 is the inter-frequency. So we only use from SIP 1 to SIP 5. So this is the SIPs. We can see. So first receives MI, master information. After that, it will receive the as SIP 1. And for SIP 2 to SIP 5, it's contained in the SI information and the system information. Okay, we first
Yes.
have lunch. You are hungry.